Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed, and today I'm going to show you how I do smoked pastrami. So what I have today is a 4.5 pound corned beef brisket flat. You can find these at your grocery store this time of year. They're great for St. Patrick's Day, cooked with some cabbage, but I want to take it a step further. I want to get all that salty brine solution out of that meat, get a good peppery rub on the outside, and put it out on the smoker. We're going to turn it into pastrami. Let's get to cooking. So the first thing we're going to need to do to this corned beef brisket is get it in some water. I want to soak that salt solution out of the meat. It's going to take overnight. You're going to need to change that water out a couple times. I just use a big container, put the brisket down in it, put some cool water on top, and put it in the refrigerator. You know, give yourself plenty of room. You want to keep it nice and cool the whole time. And every 4 hours, just come pour the water out, add fresh water. We're getting rid of that saltiness, and it's going to make it a good platform to build that pastrami from. So this is what we have when we take it out of that soak all night. It kind of changes the color of the top of it. It's got a kind of gray look, but we're going to get it real pretty. We put the rub on the outside and get it out in some smoke. So a good pastrami rub needs a lot of coarse ground black pepper and a few other flavors. It always has coriander. You want just a touch of sweetness with some sugar, but mainly that black pepper is what's giving us all the flavor. So now that we got all the seasoning on the outside, we're just gonna let it hang out. I'm gonna go outside and fire up my big green egg, get some smoke rolling. We're gonna get this pastrami on the grill. I'm using Blues Hog lump charcoal and a couple wax cubes to get the fire going today in the big green egg. You wanna leave that lid open and open that bottom vent 100% so we can get some air flowing through it. Now when a good bed of coals gets glowing, you want to go ahead and shut the lid down and open that top vent all the way. We're really going to get the air flowing through, and it's going to make the temperatures climb up. As they creep up to where we want them, about 250 degrees, go ahead and adjust that vent and close that bottom air vent off because we want to get it just right and let it stabilize. For some smoke today, I'm using some grill wood, pecan, and cherry chunks. It's going to give us a nice mild smoke. It's going to be perfect for pastrami. Once the wood's on, we're going to put our heat deflector in place, get the cooking grate on. Now we're ready to get to work. Once we have some smoke rolling out of the vent, it's time to get that pastrami on the grill. We just want to center it right on the grate, get the lid closed, and we're going to need about 3 hours in the smoke. So I've kept the lid closed on the smoker for 3 hours. That pastrami's been sitting in there just getting happy and developing a nice crust. That's exactly what I want to see. But now we got to get it tender. So I've got a small pan set up here with a little bit of beef broth in the bottom of it, and I've dropped one of my chicken racks in there to hold the pastrami up out of the liquid. And what that's going to do is create steam. We're really going to tenderize this pastrami. That's what's going to make it great. You just want to get a probe thermometer in the thickest part of it, and we're shooting for an internal temperature of about 202 degrees. It'll be perfect for slicing. Cover that with foil, put it back on the smoker, and just maintain those temps. It's going to need about 2 more hours to cook. We should be right where we want to be. Our alarm's going off means our pastrami's hit our internal temperature. It's been in this meat sauna for 2 hours, and our total cook time has been 5 hours so far. You can just see all this steam coming out. You know that pastrami is tender. It's going to be juicy, but we're not done cooking yet. I want to put it right back on the rack just for a few minutes to kind of tighten it back up. I just want to get a little bit more color on it, tighten that bark up a little bit, then we're going to be done. Okay, our pastrami's just been tightening up in here for about 15-20 minutes. That's all it needs back on the grate. Let's take a look at it and see what it finally turned into. Oh, man, see, that's what I want to see. I want to see this crust on it. It's tightened up. We steamed it out. And so we wanted it to kind of go back to almost like a crust on the outside. And that's what I want my bark to be like. I don't want it to be real soft because I want that peppery seasoning. It's ready. That's all the time it needs. We just need to take it inside and let it rest before we slice it up. And we'll be ready to eat some delicious pastrami. Check that out. That's beautiful. Okay, so I've just let the pastrami hang out a little bit on the cutting board. Before I jump into slicing it, let's talk real quick about what we did. We started with the 4.5 pound piece of corned beef that I got at the grocery store. I wanted to desalinate it, get all that salt off of it, so I put it in a soak and just let it go overnight, changing that cool water out about every 4 hours. And you want to leave it in that refrigerator. Put together a good peppery rub that we coated on the outside of it, then we got it out on that smoker. I was running at about 275 today. Great temp for making pastrami. Had a little pecan smoke and a piece of cherry on there, so it's gonna get real happy in there. We let that go for about 3 hours before we wanted to start that steaming process. We set up a pan with a little rack in it and a little beef broth for our liquid to create steam as we covered it with that foil. We let that go till we hit an internal temperature about 202 degrees. Perfect temperature for pastrami. Now it's rested. We're ready to cut into it, and I'm gonna try it. So let's see what we're working with here. I'm gonna move it over here where we can see. And you just wanna make thin cuts. It's got beautiful color. Take your time, because we're gonna make sandwiches with this, or you can serve it with cabbage if you like for St. Patrick's Day. I like to make what I call a pastrami Reuben. It's really, really great with fresh pastrami. This looks amazing. It's got that peppery bark on the top of it. We're making just thin slices, a lot of juice in there. This is what I call a pile of fresh smoked pastrami. It doesn't get any better than that. Crispy bark. Let's get a piece out here. A little fatty bite. As tender as it can be. So juicy. It's not salty at all. That soak really takes that out. But you can taste that peppery bite from that rub we put on the outside. You know, you thought brisket was really good. You're gonna love pastrami like this. So easy to do, right out on your smoker. I mean, just look at this pile of pastrami we got here. It's enough for several sandwiches. I'm gonna have to make one here in a minute. I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. Hey, if you like what we're doing here at How to Barbecue Right and you want to find out when we're putting out new videos, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. You can also send those comments, questions to Facebook or Twitter. We love those. We'll see you next time.